this wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Um, I'm planning, hey, thanks, Eric and Jocelyn. I appreciate that.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, sir.
Yep, right back to you, Brendan. Hey, so here we are, folks. What I wanted to do today is what I was, thinking and starting with on last week. Last week, we ended up talking about step 4, which I had forgot that we didn't do. So we went through that, got that out of the way. And what I'd like to do today is just find out where you are. I want to hear from you, see if you have any questions, see if there's something I can help you with, see if just whatever. So hold on, Brendan. I'm gonna just kind of finish and fill out, and then I'll roll back to you a little later. Okay, brother? So I want to know how everyone is doing and see what I can do to help. And then I want to kind of put out a poll and see if everyone is, geared up for the 14th of next month, which is directly around the corner. This month is slipping away pretty fast. And, at this point, I'm kind of hoping that a lot of you have steps 1 and 2 already done, finished, and just kind of waiting around for a review. When we get together, I think next week, I think we go live. I need to look back at my schedule that I sent you, but I think next week we go live. And then after that, it's spring break week, right? And then we don't have any class during spring break, and then we'll pick up again from there. But what I'm planning on doing is partnering people in the classroom and then swapping work. Like, for example, Ellie may read Eric's work, Eric may read Christopher's work, Christopher may read Selena's work, and that way we get a second pair of eyes on it, and then we come back and we start talking about what we read, how we felt about it, just sort of this whole family relationship thing, working together and analyzing and critiquing in a very positive and supportive way. So everyone's work is strong and we can share information that we have and just sort of build our steps and be ready to submit them on the 14th. But that's what our time is going to look like when we get together on the ground. It's going to be switching, swapping, and doing a lot of dialoguing and building and supporting and helping each other. CTC wants that kind of interaction. They want Zach to share what he has with Jocelyn to share what she has with Daniel, and so on and so forth. And now all that does is strengthen our final product and what we turn in, all right? Brendan, I'm not going to start with you. I'm going to follow up with you. So Kyle, what do you have?
Hey, Quentin. So I know this is kind of the last hurrah support group Zoom meeting for cycle 2.
Right.
I just wanted to ask, and I don't know if it's one of those, maybe it'd be better if we just do a one-on-one Zoom call for this or not, but I just wanted to ask, do I have this correct for all the components of cycle 2? Because I'm about ready to shoot Tuesday. I'm going to do the first of my filming.
Okay.
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 So just so I have this correctly, I'm sorry if everybody's like, oh, we all know this, Kyle.
No, Kyle here. We're family, dude. We're working, and every question is useful. Every question is going to help. Some people are thinking the same thing you're thinking, but you're just asking it. So high five to you, man. Talk to me.
Okay. All right. So I have it listed down in the document. It's very basic. So we need for cycle 2, and this part is in no specific order, an informal assessment, a student self-assessment, a formal assessment, and then a extension / reteaching lesson segment for the filming.
Okay, so let's what I could do is I'd be happy to run through each of the steps and then talk about what evidence needs to be submitted,
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that. And I think no one will have a problem with that at all.
Okay.
Okay. And, you know, when you talk about the, you know, the 3 assessments, there's going to be 3 assessments.
Your burritos in the.
There's going to be 3 assessments. And one is the informal assessment. You're going to be supplying a description of that informal assessment. And, or, you know, we'll talk about that. And then you're going to be with the second, you're going to be doing, you're going to be submitting a student assessment and a rubric. And then you're going to be submitting a formal assessment and a rubric. Okay. So let's run through all of the evidence one more time. Okay. And so for step 1, the evidence to be submitted, this is step 1, okay? And that's plan. So under plan, there's going to be a part A, a written narrative, okay? Contextual information, no more than 4 pages. Okay, and just for your information, I'm on step 1, plan, and I'm on page 16, and it talks about the evidence to be submitted, okay? So it's going to be a part A, it's going to be a written narrative, contextual information, no more than 4 pages. And then part B is going to be a learning segment template, okay? Part C is going to be a written narrative assessment description, no more than 7 pages, including additional information if necessary. In part D, you're going to be turning in a description or a blank copy of the informal assessment. Okay, because you know what, an informal assessment, it just happens, you know, randomly. So a description or blank copy of the informal assessment, okay? And then part E, a description or blank copies of both the student's self-assessment and corresponding rubric. And then part F, description or blank copies of both the formal assessment and corresponding rubric. Okay, that's everything that's going to happen in step 1. In step 2, the evidence that you're going to be submitting is under part G. And right now I'm on step 2, teach and assess, and I'm on page 21. All right. The evidence to be submitted, part G, 4 annotated video clips, no more than 5 minutes each. All right. And then part H is going to be a written narrative analysis of the informal and student self-assessment, no more than 3 pages. Now, along with the videos, your annotations are going to follow under that. All right. Now, in step 3, which is reflect, that's on page 22, and it's reflect. And the information, the evidence to be submitted is part I and part J. So part I is a formal assessment response from 3 students. You know, from the products, processors are recorded, you know, products, processes, or recorded information. So I want to skip over the parentheses and go right to it. A formal assessment responses from 3 students that represent evidence of learning, okay? Labeled exceed, met, or not met with feedback, all right? And then part J is going to be a written narrative, an analysis of the formal assessment and reflections of the whole class and 3 students, no more than 5 pages, okay? And then under apply, which is step 4, the evidence to be submitted is the video, okay? And the annotation, a brief explanation that highlights your participants, and it's a video clip. That's it. Okay. So you can do, you can do the video, or you can do the written. So evidence to be submitted for 4. Written narrative, next steps for learning and reteaching or extension activity, description, no more than 7 pages for the whole class or group of students. And then part L, annotated video clip, no more than 5 minutes of follow-up instructions, reteaching for the whole class or the group of students. All right. And I just went through these, but we've gone through these, step by step of what each of these things will look like. Now, if you want me to, when we get together, I can go back over step 1 again and talk about the evidence and how you need to submit it. I can go back over step 2 again, step 3, and step 4. All right, Kyle, does that?
All right, thank you, Quentin. And those are not necessarily the same thing as what's being asked in the video clips. That's all part of the whole package.
That's the whole package. Okay. When you shove cycle 2 into the window on the 14th, that's the package that you're going to be putting through the window. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. All right. Okay. Brendan, what's up?
Oh, hey, I think I just wanted to say that I was able to get my video clip for the final annotation part L, but I just have one question. For the blank copy, I put it in the chat, but for the blank copy of the formal assessment, can we turn in like a sample essay, like that's like a sample of like how a good essay would look, or maybe a blank copy of the essay outline guide?
And you're talking for step 4?
No. For step 1, like for a blank copy of the formal assessment.
Oh, okay. So you're asking if you can turn in, so evidence to be submitted. And I'll just go over it, and then we will do exactly what they asked you to do. So a written narrative, contextual information, no more than 4 pages.
Got that.
Okay, and then your learning segment template.
Yes.
You got that. Okay, and then part C, a written narrative, assessment description, no more than 7 pages, including additional information if necessary. Okay.
I got that completed.
Okay, good. And then part D, a description or, okay, so it's either or, a description or a blank copy of the informal assessment. Okay, so that means that you'll be describing what that informal assessment will look like and how you'll be engaging as a teacher, or you can build a copy of what the informal assessment would look like.
Oh yeah, I have that completed.
Okay, yeah. And then part E is a description or blank copies of both the student's self-assessment and the corresponding rubric. So they're asking for just a blank copy of that. It doesn't have to be filled out by the student as of yet. It doesn't have to be engaged. It could be a blank copy of that self-assessment and then that corresponding rubric that goes along with it. So they can look at it and see that you have built that, you've organized it, or a description and so I think the blank copy is stronger and has strength. And then part F, all they want is a description or blank copies of both the formal assessment and the corresponding rubric. Okay, so you have that formal assessment, here it is, and here's the rubric. They just want to see that you built it, that it exists, that here's the assessment, the formal assessment, and here's that rubric that goes right along with it. Okay.
Right. Well, I constructed the rubric, but could I do a blank description? I meant the description of what the formal assessment is.
Okay. So I'm going to say this again. You can either do a description or blank copies of both. So do either or. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Either or. It reads down here, part F, description or blank copies of both the formal assessment and corresponding rubric.
Okay, so I could do the description of the formal assessment and then like the copy of the rubric. Okay, I can do that. All right, thank you.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Brendan.
All right, let me lower my hand. Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Any other questions? And so I'll start throwing out some questions. How is everyone doing? Are you working? Are you building this evidence? Are you pulling things together? At this point, we've been at this since February. You really need to be pulling things together, organizing your things for step one, and then laying everything out, having it organized and set, and then looking at step two, organized and very set on the evidence that they're asking for, and the same with step three, and the same with step four. Any comments, any thoughts, any questions? Hi, Samantha, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, nice to see you.
You too. Everything's going well. I pretty much finished with step one. I'm filming tomorrow, so I should have all my video clips done tomorrow. And then after that, get the ball rolling on steps 3 and 4. So
Okay.
All set to finish by the deadline.
Very good. And you understand those annotations along with the videos. You understand how that works and that
Yes.
process? Okay.
Yes. And then I have all my assessments and rubrics and everything complete and ready to go as well.
Very good. So nice to hear your voice, Samantha. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Crystal, how are you? I don't hear you, Crystal. You sound like there's something wrong. Now I can hear you.
Okay, you guys can hear me now?
Yep.
I don't know what you heard last. Okay, so hi Quinn, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's nice to see you, Crystal.
All right, so I was aiming to submit my first TPA today for March 17th. There's still a little kinks I'm working with.
Wait, so are you talking about cycle one?
Yeah, I'm aiming for the cycle one, but now I'm aiming to submit it on the 31st of March, and then the second cycle, April 14th, which I believe is the next step. But is it possible, quick question, is it possible to submit 2 TPAs in one deadline or no?
I think if you ask me if you can complete both cycles at the same time, cycle one and cycle two on the 14th or something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm aiming for the 31st, but let's just say hypothetically, I need to turn them in both one day. Is that possible? Just to know on the back of my mind.
Wow, that's a good question. I'm thinking yes, but why don't you let me,
I could look it up if not.
Yeah, I can look it up too, and I can get back to you. That sounds, I don't see why not, but let me doubly check it, okay?
Okay, cool.
And so do me a favor, send me an email,
Okay.
And so when I can get it, I can send the response back to you. Okay. So
And
2
then-
cycles at one time.
And then one more thing. So my video I filmed, this is my second time filming, because the first one, I don't think I was hitting the target language 90%. So
Okay.
I redid it for the 90%, but then I don't think I'm focusing enough on my 3 focus students. So I think that is not going to be good. So I'm refilming. So do you think that's a good idea for the, I don't think I really differentiated with my students.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. If you feel that it's not clear and you've looked at it, then it makes sense to redo it. And then here's the thing, Crystal, and that I recommend for everyone. When you do your videos, put together a little must-hit outline. You know, it does not hurt for you to have an outline to know so that you hit all your points. So let's say you have this, let's just say you have a 30-minute video and you're going to be grabbing 3, your videos out of that. You want those segments you grab out of that to have everything that they asked for in that first video and everything they asked for in that second video. So if you put yourself a little outline together, to a cheat sheet, you might call it, as you're going and you're being filmed, you're hitting these actual points. So when you pull it out, you can see yourself doing it. And then when you do your annotations, you can say, hey, look right here at 3.27, you can see I'm doing an informal assessment. You understand? You follow me? An outline really helps with the video.
So I created the outline, I took the time to make the PowerPoint and what I was gonna hit, and I created an outline and I added that on the last step. But when it came to my focus students, I don't think that's the one thing that wasn't included in my outline was the focus students, is how was I differentiating the students. But everything else, I think I hit target language and then objectives and then conclusion, all that I think I hit. But
Very
the
good.
focus students, no. And I'm like, I don't want to not pass because I didn't hit the focus students.
I agree with you. So go over, hit it again, do it again. All right, very good, Crystal. Nice to hear your voice, and thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Anyone else?
Quinn, I got a quick question.
Hey, Moises, and stop calling me professor. Say Quentin. We don't
yeah.
professor stuff. How you doing, Moises? It's nice to see you.
Good, brother. Just tired, man. Doing my thing. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hey, I'm on page 31. And I was saying, okay, so for part C, written narrative assessment, is there I was looking through our page. Is there any example for part C? I'm on page 31 of the assessment.
Yes, I dropped it on on Canvas. It's at the very bottom. I dropped it. A student hit me up with that question, so I dropped part C. It's on campus at the very bottom. Not campus, on Canvas at the very bottom. Cool, so it is there, brother.
Hey, just a quick question. Did you hear about Ireland today?
Did I go to Ireland today?
No, did you hear about Ireland?
No, what happened?
Their economy is doing really well. You know why?
Dime.
Because their capital is Dublin.
Okay. Boom, boom. Thank you, brother Moises. You keep us in good spirit. Thank you, brother. All right. And so Moises, go and take a look on Canvas, and you'll see at the bottom. That's for everyone. That part C is there. Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions? I'll be here all week. Come on. No questions. Everyone's just feeling strong and confident and putting together a very successful document. And before I go to you, Kyle, one thing I just want to reiterate. Oh, Nicholas, I see that thumbs down. Is that for me, or is that you're not feeling strong?
No, that's for me. That's just for me. I'm just giving it an honest feeling right now, but I don't want to interrupt. But
okay. Well, listen, here's the thing, folks. Pay attention to the assessment guide. Everything we need to do is in that guide. we went over it step by step. We went through it. That's where your success is. Don't do anything like, don't do your thing. Do what they ask you to do. They're asking for this academic language. They're asking for you to describe things. Do exactly that. And if they ask for, no more than 7 pages, that means you can conceivably stop at 5 pages. You could stop at 5.5 pages. But ask yourself if you've given them everything they asked for. Okay? Don't shortchange yourself in your writing narratives. And here's the next thing. One thing CTC is really, really looking for, they want you to demonstrate your knowledge, your abilities to respond to students as a comprehensive, well-informed teacher. They want to see that teacher in you come out and to resolve all of these things they're asking for as a teacher. They have another assessment called the CalTPA, which is the California Administrators Performance Assessment. And what they're asking these individuals to do is to speak like an administrator. In the TPAs, they want you to speak, to behave. When they see the videos, they want to see you behaving and functioning like a teacher. When they have like their 2 or more students, they want you responding to them the way you always do. Now you're just putting it on film to show them, I am a strong, competent teacher. I can show you that in my writing, and I can show you that in the videos. I can show it in everything. That's what this is all about. Use the academic language. Go to Bloom's taxonomy and look through that. Use that. Okay? That's what that's there for. Brother Kyle, is your hand up? And then Crystal, you good or? Okay.
Oh, I just had a really quick question, but again, it's one of those.
What'd you say?
I'll ask the question.
Yeah.
So for the actual filming, it lays out, clip number 1 is about instruction, assessment of academic language development. Number 2 is student use of educational technology. But this is where I'm a little bit lost, just a little bit. Then it says clip 3, instruction and informal assessment, or clip 4, instruction and student assessment. Is that either or? Okay,
let's go. Where exactly do you? That's in step 2.
Hold on, I can find it.
No, it's video clip 4, correct? Yeah, it's video clip 4. And let's just go over that. So there's clip 1, clip 2, clip 3, and clip 4.
Yes.
And let's just talk about that. And Crystal, I'll get to you right after this, okay? So video clip 4, and we're on page 19. Okay, yours may be 17 or 18, but we're on page 19, and we're on step 2, teach and assess. Okay. And so video clip 4, it reads instruction and student self-assessment of content, no more than 5 minutes. And so that's instructions and, so it's not an either or at that part, okay? So let's keep going. So I'll start again, instruction and student self-assessment of content, no more than 5 pages. And then it reads, select a video clip that demonstrates the following: how you modeled the use of the student self-assessment and rubric. Okay, 1 or more students using the rubric to self-assess their understanding of the content. The next point, how you provided that in the moment feedback to one or more students based on their self-assessment results. So I don't see any either or here. All this is pretty clear as to what they're asking you to do. This is going to be about instructions and student self-assessment of content, okay? So there's no either or here. It's, we want to see this, this, and this, all right?
So it's two separate clips. One is on the informal assessment and one is on the student self-assessment.
No, I think what you're going to be turning in are 4 video clips. Video clip 1, video clip 2, video clip 3, and video clip 4. And video clip 4 is 1 5-minute video that has how you modeled the use of the student self-assessment and rubric. 1 or more students using the rubric to self-assess their understanding of the content, and how you provide in the moment feedback to 1 or more students based on their self-assessment results. All that's happening in that 4th clip, all of that, okay? And so that means when you get ready to do that 4th clip or that part in that whole scenario, then you need to tell yourself, I need to be having that I need to be modeling that self-assessment rubric. I need to have 2 or more students using the rubric, okay? And then provide in the moment feedback to those students. All that's happening in that 4th clip, all of that, okay? And it can be done in 5 minutes. It can be done. Do you follow that, Kyle? Okay. And so answering your initial question, there's no either or there. It's bam, factual. We want to see these 3 things. Okay. And thank you for your voice, Kyle. Crystal. Okay, you're back again to being mumbly or scratchy.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, you're good.
Okay, sorry, I was on my AirPods. Okay, one more quick question, Quentin. So for focus students, so I have my 3 focus students. If I happen to not hit the task they're doing, let's say, okay, say for my focus student number 3, I didn't hit differentiation, but I do hit it, but not in the video. Can I write that in?
And so your focus students are in cycle 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay, tell you what, why don't we do this, Krista? Why don't we talk offline about cycle 1? Because I don't want to confuse, because we're in cycle 2 here. And so just hang back after class, okay? Okay, thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. Anyone else? Any questions? Anything? This is a great time for us right now. And then, I mean, I don't want to keep you here because you can use this time to, go through some things. However, I want you to know that I'm here, and if we need to just go back to a page and read things out and hash it out, that's what we're here for. And so I don't want to shortchange anyone. And then I'll just reiterate this: when we meet live, I'm going to spend the best part of our time pairing, connecting people, and we're going to be sharing work and then just really doing this hands-on, going back and forth, analyzing, critiquing, supporting, sharing information, and helping each other out, and making certain that we can, reach down and grab each other's hand. Okay. Brendan?
Yeah, just one quick question. Just after we are able to submit everything, like, do we still come to the Thursday classes, like, even after the 14th? Like, I was just curious about that.
Yeah. You need to come, Daddy-O.
Oh, we still are required to come on Thursdays?
Yeah. I need to see you there. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, just
Okay,
making
thanks.
sure.
Thanks, Brendan. I'm gonna go to Ellie, then I'm gonna swing over to you, Moises. Ladies first. Hi, Ellie, how are you?
I'm good, Quentin. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Talk to me.
I just want to know what room number we're meeting in.
Okay, I'll send that notice out as an announcement on the canvas to everyone for next week. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Ellie. Brother Moises.
All right, Quentin, you're gonna kill me, but okay, so just clarify it. All this is around one lesson plan? For cycle 2?
Yeah, because you built that lesson plan, right?
Yeah.
Right, and it just makes sense to keep it connected,
So
right?
just one lesson plan, extension, booyah.
Booyah, all weaved together or
right,
all woven together.
Forgive my ignorance. Thank you.
No, that's a good question, brother.
Thank you.
I mean, it's like, I think that's the smart route to take. Okay. Okay. Very
Thank
good.
you, Quentin.
Anyone else? I'm just switching pages here. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Can I get just some thumbs up and let them hang for a minute, because I'm going to go to page 1 and then switch over to page 2. Is everyone working? Is everyone feeling safe? That's the best question I can ask. Show me some thumbs up, please. That would be very helpful for me to see. Okay, that's cool. I'm looking at page 2, I only see like 3 people. Okay. All right, well, hey, Jackie, how are you? Thank you. All right, Nicholas, did you want to throw in some any thoughts or questions? I feel bad that you gave a thumbs down. I want you to know I support you, and trust me, the way you're feeling, there are a lot of people are feeling the same way. So you're not alone, and I want you to know that. Okay.
It's just that I was looking at my learning templates, as we were going through class, and I don't know, like every time I look at it, every time, like I wrote out my plans for step 1, the learning segment portion, and I look at it again. Each time I look at it, I always think I just need to like scratch the whole thing and start over again, because I don't think sometimes I think I'm getting it, and then another moment later, I think I'm not getting it. And this week I tried to start filming. Didn't go well because I positioned the camera in a bad spot. So there are some moments where you could see me from the neck down. I was standing too close to the camera. So that was a mistake. And I'm looking at the learning segment and I'm thinking, like, I don't think this is right the way I wrote it, or I think lining up my assessment with the learning goal, maybe it's not lined up like it should be.
And then I want you to know, I understand your frustration. I know what you're going through. I sympathize with you. I feel you. And you're speaking the sentiments of a lot of people's heart. One thing you can also do, folks, I gave you examples of stuff that's written. Look at those examples. Let those examples guide you. No one here is a cheater, so I'm not worried about ethical issues. Those examples are there for you to use. Look at it. Put the example down, put yours down, read through that one, read through yours, and go, oh, dude, I missed something. That's what they're there for. They're there to support you, to help you through. Use that stuff that I posted in Canvas. It's rich, meaningful, useful information. It will make the difference between being here and here. You don't have to torture yourself. There's a wheel already rolling. Take a look at it. Use it. Use it. Okay? That's what it's there for. Do not skip that, go through each of those documents and then say, oh, I see what they did here, and mirror it. Okay? You'd be neglectful to not use the information on campus. Okay? So do that. And Nick, take it and look at yours and read that one and say, oh, I got it. Trust me, it will help you in this process. Okay? All right, brother?
Yeah, I tried, I mean, I'm trying, so, it's just
And I know you are, so I stand with you in solidarity.
sometimes it's hard to, because the examples are one subject there, and I'm thinking like, okay, so what's my music parallel to that? So sometimes it's hard to, but yeah, I mean, because little by little, I'm looking at the April 14th deadline. I'm thinking that's slipping away because it's not looking realistic anymore. It wasn't at the beginning, not for me, just for me. I'm sure a lot of the folks are going to meet it, but the April 14th deadline, I don't know about that anymore because right now musically there's a lot of performances happening, and it's hard to schedule times to film. It's hard to find those moments to use the class time when they're getting ready for other things as well. So it's a lot it's just a lot to coordinate. That's all.
I hear you. I hear you. And thank you for your voice, Nick. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let you go, folks. But I want you to know I'm here. I look forward. I'm excited about meeting everyone. And Ellie, I will send an announcement out on the room number and all that good stuff, so that we'll know where we're meeting, and we'll merge through there. And then, like I said, what I'll be doing is orchestrating and building groups and us working together to support each other in this process. All right. All right, folks, that's it for me. I'm gonna leave you alone and let you do you. And I'll just hang back a little bit and engage in some conversation. All right. And trust me, folks, I hope that I am being of service to you. I really hope so. I go to bed at night just like crying, like, oh, I wasn't any good to the team. So I hope that I have been of service to you. That's my biggest concern. So if you need me, let me know. If you wanna come down to maybe smaller groups, 3 people or something, let me know. I'll be happy to orchestrate that. So, all right, that's it, folks. Thanks for everything. Good seeing you. And there it is.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care, team. I care about you.
May I just ask one thing, just outside of CalTPA? I'm sorry if I've